Funeral service for J. Herbert M. Rogers Jr., age 43, of Sylacauga, will be this morning at 11 a.m. from Curtis & Son North. I'll be officiating that service. Burial in the Tallahatchie Cemetery. Online condolences at curtisonfh.com. Jay died April the 30th at his residence. And that's J. Herbert M. Rogers Jr., age 43, of Sylacauga. That service at 11 from Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, with burial in the Tallahatchie Cemetery. Curtis & Son Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mary Ellen Sims, age 93, of Sylacauga, will also be today at 2 o'clock from Talladega Springs Baptist Church, with Brother Joe Camp officiating. Burial in the Talladega Springs Cemetery. Mrs. Sims died Tuesday at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at raddysmith.com. Raddy Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mr. Larry D. Grayson, age 48, is Saturday at Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga at 2 o'clock. Pastor Roger Stallworth officiating. Burial in the Bethlehem Baptist Church Cemetery in Equality. Visitation is today from 1 until 8 o'clock at the funeral home. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home Sylacauga directing. Funeral service for Gary Lawson, age 52, is Saturday at noon from Faith Temple Ministries. Interment in the Kingston Memorial Gardens. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary directing. Funeral service for Mr. Willie Earl Pope, age 63, is Saturday at noon from Mount Zion Baptist Church in Sylacauga, with Pastor Kendall Burton officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Visitation today from 1 until 8 o'clock at the funeral home. Mr. Pope died April 29th at Coosa Valley Nursing Home in Sylacauga. Community Funeral Home Sylacauga directing. Funeral service for Mr. Jimmy Earl Woodall, age 65, is Saturday at 1 o'clock from Mount Canaan Baptist Church. Bishop W.E. Frazier officiating. Burial in the church cemetery. Sims Funeral Service directing. Joshua Q. Strickland, age 27, died April 30th at UAB in Birmingham. Sunset Memorial Chapel, Childersburg, will announce the arrangements. Graveside service for Mrs. Ella Ruth Smith, age 93, of Alexander City, will be Saturday at 2 from Hillview Memorial Park. The Reverend Scott Jordan officiating. The family receiving friends Saturday 11:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. at the funeral home. Mrs. Smith died Thursday, May 3rd at her residence. She was a member of the Wayside Baptist Church. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at raddyfuneralhome.com. Raddy Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mr. Cardeem L. Allen, age 25, will be 11 o'clock Saturday at Miracle Baptist Church in Alexander City, with burial in the Armourers Memorial Garden. Visitation today, noon until 7 o'clock at the funeral home. Armourers Memorial Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Funeral service for Mr. Eddie Goggins of Kellyton will be 1 o'clock Saturday at Peace and Goodwill Baptist Church, with interment in the church cemetery. Wright's Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Ivaline Crump, age 77, died May 1st. The family will receive friends at Talladega Funeral Home today from 2 until 3 o'clock, with a funeral service to follow in the chapel. The Reverend Joel Davis will officiate. Burial in the Hall Cemetery in Lincoln. Mrs. Crump was a member of the Refuge Baptist Church for some 20 years, where she served as a Sunday school teacher. Talladega Funeral Home directing. Annie Pearl Tyler, age 71, died at her residence on Tuesday. The family receiving friends, actually that was last night. Funeral services today at 11 a.m. from the chapel of Talladega Funeral Home. Dr. Chris Aldridge will officiate. Burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. Talladega Funeral Home directing. The funeral service for Mrs. Marie Queen, age 58, is this afternoon at 1 p.m. from the chapel of Raddy Funeral Home. Reverend J. Burkhalter officiating. Burial in the new Rocky Mount Baptist Church Cemetery. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at raddyfuneralhome.com. Raddy Funeral Home in Alexander City. in charge of all the arrangements. These obituaries brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg.